Howdy doody. I'm working on a project, so I thought I will just invite you all in to watch and maybe learn something from my potential mistakes. I'm making some ear wires right now. Well, some wire components. And I'm not sure how it's going to feel. So what I thought I'd do is do it on a live, and that way too, if you have any questions, I can answer them as I go. So I'm making these components right now. I'm going to focus on making them. So if you do have a question and I don't see it, post it again, because I'm going to be looking down at my hands. So you can think of it more of as a spy cam. Right now I'm just measuring my wire. And once I do decide to go with the size that I'm going to go with and the hardness of the wire, I will be doing it in more of a mass production style, so you'll see how that works. This is half hard wire, 20 gauge half hard wire that I cut 4 inches. This is 20 gauge soft that I cut 3 inches. And I'm not too sure like what the effect is going to be. So before I do anything, I'm going to make my sample. Unfortunately, I can't do it in a plated wire. I must do it in gold fill because it won't feel the same when I go to actually make it. Okay, so I'm going to polish it. I might have to tumble it after I'm done. Oh, I just made a little video on how to make your own retractable tool set. Okay. I'm going to be working on this right here. Gotta find one that doesn't have anything on it. Unfortunately, I didn't, so okay, I can't mark it until I'm actually in that part of the process. So I have the wire ready to go, 2 different sizes. So this isn't mostly for shape right now. This is the technical part of how does the wire feel when I wrap it around the mandrel. How does it take the curve? Is it good? So let me just move my mandrel here. You can see a little bit better. Half hard pulls away and is a lot stiffer, so it won't stay in the shape that I intended. You kind of have to have a model to work with. This is the soft. You can see much different. No bouncing, and it's bouncing, and hold it right there. This one is closing and this one is not. No matter how much I push on the half hard, it is going to stay very boingy. There's a benefit to that though. I can talk about it. Okay. I think I like that size. I'm gonna look at it and go, okay, that's a pretty nice shape. So wherever I stopped, I'm gonna make a Sharpie pen mark so that I know every time I make this, I'm gonna go right above that Sharpie pen mark and stop. And then all my future pieces are gonna be that shape. I don't know. I didn't actually hammer it yet, so I'll let you know. Yeah, this is one way to never put my Sharpie down and lose it. I have to cap it. Okay. All right. Today is my day off, So I came in to clean up the store and work on some earring samples. Woo, this one is super soft. All right, now if you only have soft at home, let me see if I can harden it enough that it's usable. Okay, a little bit better, but I think this is going to be the key. Making my friend Leah some earrings. So the cream color, yellow gets the green, green gets the candy. So I'm going to put a crystal on first. So I wanted to do this in 18 gauge, but I just couldn't because the 18 gauge didn't fit. Push the crystal into the flower so that they stay together. Then I'm going to put that piece into the loop and make it stay with my chain nose plier. So what determined this earring was the size of the hole on the flower, the pua kene kene, the size of the hole on the crystal, and then I picked this wire based on the boinginess of it. Now, when you put the flower on, if you get a little bit of misshapen of the curve, you can fix that by gently pinching with your flat nose plier. And that's gorgeous. Okay, I think this is done. Yeah, this half hard wire is nice. It did not take much work. Now, because the flowers are handmade, it's probably not going to be the same experience for each flower. So I will have to problem solve that when I get to there. Whenever I cut my wire, you always want to flush cut both sides with your cutter. Always flush cut. Again, flush is the side of your cutter that is flat. And please use the same plier repeatedly with the same motion, and that will increase the chances of your piece looking the same every time. And then I have my little black mark here. I'm going to follow that. Now you're probably going to ask, what? Oops, that's not my black mark. That must be Jason's from another class. This is my black mark. So let me go back over here. Luckily, this wire is not very thick, so it's easy to move it around. Now, if you got any little dents in there, because I did move it off location, you can take your nylon hammer and tap it out. Okay, I know there's been times people have asked me, what do you do if you don't have a hammer? Well, there's not much you can do. It's just like trying to cut something without scissors. You have to make it up completely in a way that I don't have a technique for. Okay, so here's the piece. Here's my crystal. And here's my flower. I asked one of my friends to match up all the flowers since they're handmade. So this is not a random selection. They all have been paired. Now, because I'm right-handed, I tend to always turn my wires in the same forward motion. So I was holding it like this and I pushed forward. But a lot of people, when they're buying stuff, they love mirror images. So instead of grabbing it the same way that I did the last time, I'm going to flip it and then do the same motion. So I will be making a mirror imaged component. And that is a really cool thing to note, because it's these details that you may not be looking for, but when you look at something, I don't know if it's ever happened to you, and you feel like something's a little off, or that's not my favorite pair, or every time I wear it, I always feel like, you know, kind of funky, whatever the case may be. So those are the kinds of things to watch for and be detailed about. I'll point them out for you. Okay. So here is Leah's earrings. I'm just making sure I put everything the right way. I have to make the ear wires for this because of the way that the loops are oriented. They're going front to back this way. And ear wires also go front to back. So I didn't want to add any more to this. Like, I like it simple and clean. So I'm going to be making the ear wire, and that way I can turn the loop in the direction that I want. But look how cute that is. So that is Leah's. Turns out I do like the half hard wire, which is interesting because I made a note to myself that I was going to do it in soft. But one more thing is, it also, there's no like hard and fast rule, because when you get your wire, depending on where you get it from, the batch could be softer or harder when you receive it. And so it's not like that rule is, okay, when Jamie makes a 4-inch hoop style earring, it's always now going to be 4 inches of half hard 20 gauge. That's not the case at all. Because if I put like a gold bead in here and the hole was larger, then I probably would have upped it to 18 gauge. And when I hit 18 gauge, I rarely do half hard, because at that point, the metal is a little too bouncy and I need to hammer it anyhow, because I don't like 18 gauge soft without a bit of style to it. Otherwise, it just looks like plain round wire. So if that's the case, there's other considerations. You can always ask us if you're about to do something and you're not too sure. I was like, is there something on me? No, it's on my camera. So that is it. That's how you make this loop. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you have a great day. Now I have 15 more pairs to go.